A new island coming to Astraeos. Maywing back in ARK, sort of. And the 10 final community creatures for you to pick, which is going to be integrated into the base game. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So, Community Crunch 446 drops to us with a big update on Astraeos. First, with a heartfelt, warming message from the map maker Devkit himself, thanking us for our support and love and how proud he is of the map coming to official, and obviously aware of the technical issues that happened during the launch, unfortunately. But it's got to be said, or at least feels like that initial wave of negativity that occurred at launch, maybe owed to that 35%, seems to have wavered off quite a bit. Perhaps a lot of people now have seen what exactly is 35% of the map, which is actually quite a good chunk of it. Definitely bigger than the island. And positivity does seem to be pushing through, with a lot of players saying this is already their favourite map on ARK to date. But being 35% complete, we're expecting a lot more on the way, and Devkit delivers in a quick summary of what to expect. First up is to expect a large, cold, snowy environment with Mediterranean warm biomes, and reading on later within this update, it seems to suggest the giant, massive area up in the northeast corner of the map is where we're going to find this update, which means a massive new space to play on, a massive new area filled with new creatures and new encounters, and of course new adventures with caves for PvP on top, as Devkit explains to expect more caves, hearing the response to PvP players, and maybe in response to a few buildable caves being pulled out of Astraeos. And fair warning if you're building either of these right now, because at some point next week the area outside of the cave to the wyvern nests is going to be patched with you unable to build in this area, and makes sense. Doesn't want people blocking off the wyvern cove and allowing people not to be able to get wyvern eggs themselves. And whilst the image posted in the community crunch wasn't too clear, I got a bit of a flyby, so you've got a good idea of the space. And if you are built in this at all, make sure to remove your structures ASAP before mid next week. As well as the bee cave, which is a bit of a shame, as I imagine a lot of PvP players out there are loving this cave right now, with some pretty tight choke points in there. But it is where you get bee honey and you get lots of pollen from your beehives, so I guess it had to be done. Just a real shame, and I imagine a lot of people are probably already built in this one, so as a result definitely want to vacate there before they find their base being wiped or destroyed. However it's going to happen when this update rolls out, definitely make sure you move out before mid next week. But we can find the integration of more temples and ruins to build on with this new area, as well as blue obelisks. So far there's only one obelisk on Astraeos, and good to hear a new one will be brought in with this island. And it has to be this island because if you fly over there in ghost mode, you can see one sitting in one convenient space ready to be updated to this island. And with it, more DLC dinos seems to be in response to a few people saying, well, you got all these extinction creatures in, where's the gacha, where's the snow owl? Well, they're coming. Devkit said specifically gachas and snow owls you'll find with this update, with me guessing perhaps they'll be added to this giant snowy area. And does that mean manners too? I guess only time will tell. With a wonder, will aberration creatures be touched on at all, explored with this? So far there is a few handful of Scorched Earth creatures, a lot of Extinction stuff, and I wonder if any Aberration stuff will be brought in. Maybe not, as it suggests that we're going to find new mini bosses as well, a bit like the Minotaur that you've got so far in one of the artifact caves in the main Corinthos island, and being introduced as a new loot source for you hoarders out there. Though how on earth you're not getting enough loot with these insane drops already offering some crazy wicked loot from them alone, but it's gonna happen. And will it be some wandering boss, or will it be another cave dweller? And if it is, I hope we might explore something a bit more giant, menacing, something a bit more like the lava golem or ice worm queen on Ragnarok. So a lot to come, see and do, but when that actually comes out, Devkit isn't giving away. There are no ETAs, boy. And that's fine, but great to hear what's planned around the corner right now. Devkit is working through mesh holes and fixing any reports that are coming through. In fact, Nakatis is on it with updates with Astraeos since launch. A big concern I had with this being integrated as a DLC rather than a CurseForge mod, I was really concerned will updates be fewer and far between as a result, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Nakatis is being able to update Astraeos as and when, and great to see. So can't wait to see when this new island comes out. Don't know whether to expect it anytime soon, but it is the next big planned update when it comes. And with that, there was a recent Devkit update, not only updating the car cosmetics, so you can now slap on a Roadster sample if you want to drive around in a swooshy, snazzy car, and feeling even closer to something like GTA 6 before GTA 6. I know, stop the GTA references, I hear you right now. But definitely interesting to see this being opened out, and I wonder what interesting creative modders out there gonna try and skin your battle rig with. I think the Batmobile is probably the #1 most wanted rig cosmetic as we speak. But with this Devkit update too, added the May lizards that were of course brought in with Astraeos, the controversial non-Maywing but actually are Maywing creatures that you can tame on Astraeos and take to any other maps. And in fact, if you want spawn on those maps or just gift to anybody and let them use if they don't own Astraeos, that's a thing. They're not a paid creature like some of these other paid creatures we've had before. And with that, there's already mods available for you to spawn these on every single unofficial map that you're playing on, as well as a skin made by Sandy, a custom cosmetic you can slap on your maeguana to turn it into the original Maywing. If you want a Maywing, there you go, it's now in the game. You now got a skin for a skin. Bruh. And hopefully that'll satisfy the players out there that want a Maywing back, seeing that they've got a version of the Maywing, and still leaves me with a wonder of what's going to happen when Gen 2 arrives. But something that is arriving, a brand new creature to ARK. We're here again, community creature submission time. It feels like a long time since we did this last time. In fact, it was like 2 years. It was a long time. And with this, we've got an interesting lineup. A few we covered before: a living tree giant stick bug, a apparently worse nightmare megaraptor, a thundering herbivore commanding xenoceratops, bio-sniping Tanistropheus, Winter King Cryodracon, intercontinental ballistic gourmand Desmatosuchus, Desmatosuchus, it's pronounced one of those ways, I'm sure. Nah. Pet assassin and mutation booster Coelophysis, impenetrable bulwark Pentaceratops, blitzing trickster Achionyx, and stalking as Darkid Aero Titan. All of which I do encourage you, whilst I respect the effort that's gone into these submissions and the abilities suggested, to definitely just to discourage voting for these based on their abilities. You're voting for the aesthetics of these creatures, for these specific dinos to be brought into ARK in any shape or form that Wildcard deem fit. They can certainly be inspired by these submissions, and hey, they could possibly bring in the abilities suggested, but there's definitely a possibility, as we've seen before with community creature submissions, that they may not have any of these abilities suggested. So please do take these ideas suggested with a pinch of salt, though once again, a massive amount of phenomenal work, like comic book art created by some people on these things, on how to pitch, on how to sell their creatures. There really is some interesting ideas. I just wish I could pronounce half the names of these things. And if you want to cast your vote, you've got to head to this site here, rankedvote.co/RV/ASA-Valguero-creature/vote, and simply rank and order the creatures that you decide from, #1 being your most preferred to #10 being your least favorite, and then hit submit. Though this isn't a reflection of my votes, I've been doing this off cam, so I don't attempt to try and influence anything out there. As you know, there's been a lot of drama before with creators influencing votes in the past. So get your votes in, and get your votes in quick, because this second round of voting ends on Friday, Feb the 28th at 1 PM Pacific, with the brand new creature being announced on the same day. And good luck to all of the submissions. Some really cool ideas with this one. As mentioned previously and perhaps overlooked in the last community crunch, Love Ascended is getting an extension now. It's been revealed it's going to be extended until Monday, Feb the 24th, and with the super duper rates that you'll be getting with those, the chocolate boxes, which are an absolute blessing for refilling health or macing anything out there, and especially of course the love birds that we just recently found out helping to improve the taming efficiency of any creatures if it's nearby one of those. Love that thing, by the way. You can take full advantage of that until Monday on official, and if you're on unofficial you can just keep the mod running if you want to. Leaving us with another cross-platform mod spotlight, showing off some new premium mod, this time claystone structure skins for a more primitive appeal, I guess. Ultimate sign collection if you want some cool snazzy neon signs in your life, and holy hell, there's a lot of them to choose from. A Gigantoraptor costume, wow. That's actually pretty cool. Precursor tech suits if you're looking for some broken tech suits. Furries out there, get going with Wagon. Random configs, which is a really welcomed mod, seeing that there's a limited configs in single player, especially for console, and this will definitely help with that, as well as some extra new additions. The scrapped asset hive that we had with Gen 1 that never got brought into the game has been reimagined by Arman, as well as a crazy Anki variant Skeldastio. I butchered that one completely. Shrisaud Drakara. Ooh, very draconic, looking almost a bit like that game that keeps getting drawn similarities with ARK, Avatar. Apex Predators from Team Paleo ARK, which we've got running on our Astraeos server too. As well as, oh my god, I didn't even want to see this. I'm kind of gutted I spoiled this for myself. Some absolutely phenomenal updates to the sea creatures. Look at that thing. I know what to take one. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing later on tonight, and hope you're all enjoying Astraeos a bit more. Again, I do feel like that negativity we had in launch seems to not be as bad as it was then, and a lot more people are really enjoying this map, and would love to hear your opinions on this map compared to other maps, even at its 35% completion. Do you expect this to be the all-singing best map in ARK when it gets to that full 100% completion? Just to wonder when that 100% completion will come around, and it turns out there's going to be at least something being brought in as a brand new piece of island mass up in the top right hand corner at some point in the future. So until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.